First, we want to bring you up to speed on what's happening here in Washington. The crack political team over at the Washington Post, our daily local newspaper, has uncovered a brand new species of fake news they think you need to know about: imaginary left-wing mobs. In a piece posted last night, the Post explained that in order to win the midterm elections, those Republicans have, quote, cast the Trump resistance movement as an angry mob. Now, cast is, of course, here a synonym for misrepresented. The Washington Post wants you to know that these mobs are not real. They're an illusion. And that may surprise you, because you may have recently seen videos of prominent Republicans being chased out of restaurants by screaming progressives. You may have read news accounts about how a Republican congressman from Louisiana was shot with a high-powered rifle by a Bernie Sanders supporter. You may have seen college campuses descend into rioting simply because conservatives showed up to talk. And just this past weekend, you may have watched transfixed as groups of hysterical young people yelled at Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill and then pounded in rage on the front doors of the Supreme Court. All of this may have given you the mistaken impression that there is a threat of disorder and lawlessness from the left building in this country, some of it funded by a man that the Washington Post neutrally describes, and we're quoting now, as philanthropist George Soros. Well, rest easy, says the Post. In fact, all of this talk of left-wing mobs, quote, taps grievances about the nation's fast-moving cultural and demographic shifts. In other words, this is racism, and it's designed, says the Post, quote, for the benefit of white voters, particularly men. Wow. So the angry left-wing mobs you thought you had been watching on television turn out to be merely a hallucination. They're a fever dream concocted by those diabolical magicians over at Fox News. Thank heaven. You can wake up now. None of it is real. It's 1996 again. But wait, has anyone told the angry left-wing mobs about this? They seem to believe that they exist. In Portland, they're still blocking traffic and breaking things and screaming at old ladies in wheelchairs. Apparently, they don't get the Washington Post in Oregon. Watch. Don't believe your lying eyes. Now, some reports, there haven't been many reports, but some describe the protesters you just watched as Antifa. Others say they're Black Lives Matter. It doesn't matter. What you're actually looking at is the youth wing of the Democratic Party. These are their shock troops. Listen to Maxine Waters and Cory Booker call them to arms.
Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Go get them. Get in their face. Well, they obeyed. The left always obeys. Obedience is the whole point of their program.
If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace.
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! We believe survivors!
Sexist, racist, anti-gay!
We believe survivors! We believe survivors!
Well, thanks to incidents like the one you just saw, the ones the Washington Post assures you aren't real, didn't really happen, and you have no right to be worried about, normal people across the country, nevertheless, are becoming concerned. Now, that's racist, says the Post, because, of course, being yelled at by rich white kids and not liking it is racist. But nevertheless, Kelly Paul, wife of Senator Rand Paul, says that she's so concerned by what's happening that she keeps a loaded gun by her bed. Watch.
So many, frankly, unhinged people and unstable people out there. And when they hear someone on their side telling them, get up in their face, they take that literally. And they think that that gives them a license to be very aggressive, be harassing. It does scare me that there is going to be somebody that is really unstable that takes that message a step further. We've updated all of our security systems at home. I sleep with a loaded gun by my bed. I've always felt very safe. We used to never even lock our doors, and now that has all changed.
Well, the Washington Post might call Mrs. Paul paranoid. On the other hand, many on the left openly celebrated when her husband wound up in the hospital after being assaulted by an angry liberal.
My husband had 6 broken ribs and was violently assaulted, was seriously, seriously injured. And to have people like Cher and Bette Midler laughing on the internet and lauding his attacker, it's like, well, what kind of person are you that you think that is acceptable?
Well, that's a fair question. And the video we just showed you is real video. We didn't make it up in the basement to scare you or to win a midterm. Assessing everything you've seen over the past year, you might be tempted to conclude that just maybe there is a growing problem with left-wing mob violence. But left-wing leaders and their propagandists in the press have concluded, you'll be surprised to learn, the exact opposite. Faced with one left-wing riot after another, they have decided the problem is actually you. You're the problem, sitting at home. You're dangerous. In the New York Times this morning, Paul Krugman accused the Republican Party of harboring authoritarian impulses. Apparently, Republicans have been chasing prominent Democrats out of restaurants recently and banging on cars. Oh, wait. There's that projection thing again. Hillary Clinton is so worried, though, about how dangerous the Republican Party has become, those angry Mormon grandmothers in black bandanas you're seeing in downtown Portland, smashing windows, that she no longer considers Republicans Americans or even fully human. According to Hillary Clinton, you no longer have to be civil to Republicans. You can do whatever you want to them because they deserve it.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
Yeah, when we win, civility can return. So there you have it, the perfect distillation. There's the most recent Democratic presidential candidate, the leader of her party by default, endorsing viciousness openly against her political opponents. And yet, according to the Washington Post, a newspaper, this is what Republican extremism looks like. And you'd have to be crazy not to see it.